Porn ruined my life. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Zach, and I do a lot of different things. Most people know me as a skater, some know me as an artist, and in high school, if you knew me, I made clothes, or most people knew me as a skater, right? And I was always a kid that kind of was just awkward, and from what I remember, I liked talking to people. I liked being around people. I was just awkward. I was just weird. I spent a lot of my time thinking, and I would consider myself even to be a philosopher. I've always questioned the deeper meaning of things, and as I got older, I learned so much about myself and about the world around me. As a child, I grew up in a Christian school, and I had a loving mother, a hardworking father, and two sisters. And being a Christian, I always questioned, like, why I have to be this way, why I have to follow these rules, and I kind of like just tried to understand Christianity or religion in general. I've always just wanted to know why and like the deeper meanings of why I am a Christian in the first place. The concept of heaven and hell really terrified me. I was afraid of both. I didn't want to go to either or after death because to me it just terrified me that I could go somewhere and be there forever. At the age of 11, I received an iPod Touch, and I would just download apps on it. I would download Angry Birds, Floppy Bird, or games like that. And I just had a bunch of apps on there, and I'd watch YouTube videos. I would eventually be getting into social media, but I can't remember exactly what I had stumbled upon, but I saw this ad of a Victoria's Secret model, and I would say that was the moment where it all kind of like stemmed from. It was that ad, and I just remember my heart beating like super fast, and like I had felt these emotions that I'd never felt before in my life. If I can go back and like describe what it felt like I was going to hell, but it felt really good, and it felt like the devil was like showing me, what is possible that that God wouldn't have offered me. This is something that definitely came from the devil, or darkness. There was some dark entities that had led me down this path for sure. It wasn't a thing of God. That's for sure. Anyways, and so yeah, from there, I was 11 years old, and I found this new part of me that I never knew existed until that age. And then from there, I just kind of like actually let it go for a while. Like, I didn't really pay much more attention to it after that. I just know that I was fascinated by it. I was extremely fascinated by the opposite sex. And some years went by, and for a long time, I never even knew how to masturbate, or I never even knew what sex was. All this was revealed to me, of course, through friends, and one day I decided to look up the four-letter word, and it's not love, on Safari or Google, whatever it was. And I thought to myself, this is normal. Everyone does this, and this is okay because my friends talked about it, and it's always on TV. Everywhere you look, you see ads, or you see films with, taboo things, and it's kind of just normal, like, is what I thought, and in high school, people knew me as the guy with an afro who wore Hawaiian shirts and was awkward as shit. I always felt extremely insecure about my awkwardness too, and what fascinates me about that is that like girls actually liked it about me. But I never really liked girls. I never really liked anybody. I was always kind of like asexual, and I would definitely like to make a video about that in the future too, about, my sexuality and like what I kind of like learned about myself through these years. From what I remember, I knew a lot of people and I tried to be friends with everyone. The thing that most defined me, I would say, was my creativity. I was in art class and I always had a huge imagination. I had dreams of starting a clothing brand, I made YouTube videos, and I enjoyed talking to people. But throughout the entire time, I had an addiction to pornography. Every day, as soon as I got home, I'd just go straight to porn. This has always been an issue, up to this day, but back then, I wasn't aware of it. Although, there was this moment in high school when I started getting into spirituality, and I was smoking cannabis, and I learned a lot about different things at this moment in my life. But I will definitely get into that in another video. I just remember smoking, and as I look back now, I could see that cannabis stopped me from, or at least tried to stop me from releasing my sexual energy. I remember cannabis was highly psychedelic for me, and that's why I stopped. This medicine, as I like to see it, dissolved my ego to the point of insanity, and I decided not to smoke anymore. I was 16, and by the next year, I experienced the dark night of the soul. I experienced depersonalization, and eventually I discovered NoFap. There was this video of a Norwegian man who described all of the symptoms of pornography addiction and all of the benefits of escaping the addiction.
I was a mangina who never stood up for myself and who felt sorry for myself all of the time and cried like a little bitch after work every now and then. That's who I was. That's not who I am now.
I remember feeling overwhelmed with a sense of hope that all my problems, my anxieties, and insecurities would be gone forever. And boy, was I wrong. I went a week straight with no PMO and ended up binging right after. And I felt hopeless and stuck, like I could never escape. I kept telling myself, I can do this, I can do this. But as the years went on, I lost hope, and I began questioning if it's even possible. To me, I felt that if I couldn't quit cold turkey, then it meant that I'm a bitch. I struggled to see my own progress, and as this was happening, I had the symptoms of what's known as the flatline. And this happened immediately after the crash of my 1 week streak. I had no desire to live. I was empty. I had no passion, no drive. I began missing my first class more often because I slept in every morning. I lost interest in creating that clothing brand. I stopped making art, and this was all as I was graduating high school. And I needed to find a job, save my money, get an apartment or a house, date women, and go to college or whatever it is I'm supposed to do after high school. Something else I'd love to talk about in my future videos is how my mental health was at this moment in my life, because that is very important and I believe it needs to be shed light on. So yeah, porn ruined my life, and it's obvious if you look at the difference between me back then and me now. As the years went by, I realized that this is a process, and I can't change a behavior in one day, or even in 1 or more years. Progress is measured by the overall total amount of success I make, not by the daily failures. Because I used to focus so much on the failures, but when I look back, all I see is progress. Today, I still struggle, and I still have urges, and I still relapse, and I'm human. I make mistakes, but this is something that's gonna have to dwindle away as I get older. This is something that I'm gonna have to overcome as I get older. And I can say that I celebrated many milestones along this journey. Some of those I would say were 6 months long, and give or take. And it's been nice. It's been nice having some positive things to look back on, to show myself that I can get over this, that I have gotten over this. And right now, I'm just practicing MO, not no PMO, but you know, trying to get away from porn. And yeah, it's been working out pretty good. It's not like as difficult as it used to be to get over the urges. I'll make videos in the future about what I've done in the past to overcome urges and what I've done to negate the negative effects of relapses. And stay tuned for those videos, because eventually I will be giving tips, because I wasn't ready to give out, like, a hand, because I was drowning myself, so now I feel like I'm getting the ball rolling, and I'm starting to find my way out of this deep, dark, like, just abyss. It's just a hole that I dug for myself, and we all dig this hole for ourselves, whether it be with drugs, whether it would be with alcohol, women, porn, whatever it is. We dig these holes for ourselves, and it's up to us to get ourselves out. And this is the story about how porn ruined my life. Thank you for watching.